What's this podcast called?
Sepsis from Planet Weird.
Podcast from Planet Weird.
Oh.
Luck of the Irish. More like freak me in the eyeballs.
I love this movie.
No!
I told you not to bring up prom in this episode.
Oh, you want to talk about prom, mama? Drama-ka-flama, baby. I was nominated for winner for more.
God damn it!
Phew. That was me spitting on you in 3D. Hello, everybody. This is episode 294. Welcome to Podcast from Planet Weird presents Frasier February.
Frasierific. Whoa, my glasses. Oh, that didn't really work out. Okay. Whoa.
We are coming to you live via Google Meet in 3D. Put on your glasses.
Glasses on. Put it at the bottom.
Your bifocals. I want that on my tombstone.
Glasses on.
Glasses on, but in that font from Spy Kids 3D.
That like box metal font.
Love it. Yes. If you don't know what this show is, that is so silly, but it's okay to be silly sometimes. So we'll inform you that this is a podcast where Juan and Sarah, that's us. Those are our names.
Yes. Recently ill, but yet not dead.
We talk about movies from the past, not classic movies. We're not talking about no Casablanca, no Fiddler on the Roof kind of bullshit.
The fuck is that?
Boring. No, we talk about the gems and I was trying to think of like a word. Yeah. Well. I was trying to think of a word that starts with J, but means like a flop. But you're right, Jen and the Holograms did a flop. Am I right? Gem and the Holograms.
I mean, they didn't even let it go into theaters. They said, we're going to just get...
No, I think it did go to theaters and they pulled it.
No. It was out for like maybe an hour, and they were like, no.
They didn't even finish the movie.
No, they cut it out. They said, here's a free voucher for 2 more movies. Go watch one.
Wasn't Haley Kiyoko in that, or am I making that up?
Let's research.
Well,
sorry, the last thing I googled was Kingler. I
think one of the girl from Ant Farm wasn't literally Stephanie Scott, Haley Kiyoko. Literally. Why did I know that?
Because you're a little freak for her.
I've never seen the film, but I somehow knew that girl was in there. Anyways, we talk about movies from the the 90s and the 2000s that we grew up watching, whether we loved it or hated or never seen it and are catching up now. That's what we talk about here. Before we dive into that, just quick catch up. How have you been? So we're recording this at the very end of Annuary. Rest in peace to Annuary. We love that month.
Rest in peace, Anne.
Loved Anne Hathaway.
We love her.
But how are you?
May she rest in peace.
We recorded those Annuary ones pretty early, so I haven't. And you've been ill. I haven't talked to you in a while. How you been?
My alarm just went off. I don't know if you heard that.
Okay.
What
was that?
It was to take my pill. Oh. No, to take my pill. But I already took it earlier. Needless to say, these alarms have done nothing for me. I have been ill. The doctors don't know what I have. It's a mystery ailment, everybody. Give it up for mystery ailments. Woo! Wah, wah, wah. But a nurse friend of mine, yes, my friends are nurses. I think everyone has a nurse friend, maybe a doctor friend. Something more successful than you or I. But they were like, yeah, I think they just think you have allergies. Because they literally have just been... Huh?
I was going to say, if it ends up being bad, like worse, life-threatening, you can sue for malpractice.
I can sue. Mm-hmm. They're like, you did nothing. I told you there was something in my throat. Something was like, look, it was doing this. You see that? You see it? It was clasping my throat from the inside out, right? So it was grabbing me. But no, I'm fine. I'm feeling like oh shit, maybe I fucked myself up right now. I'm sorry.
Grabbing your throat and choking yourself?
by choking myself. I think I'm better. It's really just congestion now. Like there's no pain, and maybe it's just me, my hypochondriac brain being like, I know there's something in there. I can feel it, right? But it's really nothing.
I know you're in there,
Barbara. I know you're in there. But I think I'm good. I think I'm well. Thank God for the drug naproxen. Thank God for the drug prednisone. Prednisone. Thank you to
a predator.
Yeah, honest. Maybe. Okay, wait. Okay, here's the theory, right? What if I'm not sick? I'm just being.
You have an alien in you.
Yeah, there's a little guy inside me, and he's just trying to get out.
And he's gonna pop out and go, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Hello, my ragtime gal."
Okay. I actually caught something too. I don't know what for a couple
You caught
days.
something too, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, I was like a little congested on. I took Wednesday and Thursday off. I was super congested on Wednesday, and then Thursday because I stayed home both days because I said I'm not gonna risk my own health for a minimum wage job. No,
Listen,
it's 2023. We put ourselves first, okay? So yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I tried to put myself first. I said, well, no, I tried to put my job first. I said, I need to be here for the cash, even though everyone else around me at work had been feeling sick, like in not like the worst capacity, but like something. And I'm like, you need to go. Like, I think we get
Shut
time
down
off
the
here.
museum. Who needs to be?
Who needs to look at an
Go
art?
somewhere else, dorks.
Old
Yeah.
people.
But yeah, so I stayed home for a couple days just to rest. 'Cause I think that that's something that does help. Not just your cough medicine, not just your mucinex kind of stuff, but you're just resting. I fell asleep, taking naps because I'm like, whoa, my body apparently needed that. What?
Can I tell you something?
But other than that, I've been fine.
My version of resting is literally just playing video games for hours on end. Is that bad?
I think your body needs sleep and or need to not be preoccupied with something that's going to help you rest more.
I mean, I wasn't moving. I was just kind of laying on my bed playing games.
Yeah, but your mind is kind of racing and doing stuff. But
really,
I've seen people say when you're sick, don't read a book, don't be trying to do things while you're done, or for COVID especially, people have said just
sit there,
sleep. Just sleep. Yeah, literally just rest and sleep because that's what's gonna help you the most. But
wow. Well,
besides,
shit. Maybe I fucked this up.
Modern medicine. Anyways,
I mean, I think it's a combination of modern medicine and some herbals, some plants.
Okay, the lady from Buffalo Dreams when she told Jock to sleep with some tea leaves or something, or bathe in some tea leaves or something.
Yeah, I'm just
the other
gonna
thing
put
is
a crystal up my asshole.
I was drinking 2 cups of tea a day at least.
You know what? I kind of
help get those leaves to help me.
I think I fucked up. I think I didn't drink enough water.
Yes, you need to be drinking fluids with congestion. Yes,
really?
Your body. Yes.
What?
Yes.
No one tells me these things.
Mucus is your body trying to fight off whatever virus is in you, or allergies too. But mucus is the body's way of being I'm fighting this off, and your mucus will loosen up, and you'll get rid of your mucus more the more liquid you take in. So you're supposed to be drinking water or tea and stuff like that all the time. It's gonna help.
Oh God. Okay. Ooh. Okay. No wonder I've been feeling better today. One, I took a Claritin D because my doctor was like,
not sponsored.
Not well. Hey, sponsor, please.
I'm sure they would love.
Two people, 2 little queers. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I haven't been treating my skin quite right because I've been sick. Because I've been feeling dry and my tattoo has not been healing great.
Oh yeah,
so today I was like,
another tattoo.
Yeah, so here's the problem. I got sick and then I got a tattoo, and I don't think either of those 2 combinations are great to have together.
No.
If I were to give anyone a PSA, this is my PSA. Put some sad music under this. Here's my PSA. If you're ever sick, cancel all your appointments. Don't do anything. Reschedule. And if you have something, like if you have a tattoo and you just got it, drink so much vitamin C that your body will just fight it off because you can't handle being sick and healing an open wound. You're welcome.
I take vitamin C every day. I still got a little sick, but maybe the fact that I take it every day is why I only was sick like 2 days.
Maybe I need to get a multivitamin and take that every day.
Anyways, so you got a new tattoo. Because you were sick, you weren't able. No, well, because you were sick, you weren't able to go to Frankie's thing yesterday.
No, and I also worked at like 12, which means I had to leave my
So you
house.
could have gone before.
What time did it start?
It started at 10.
Baby, I wake up at 10.
Well, wait.
Let me tell you something. Okay, here's what I found out, especially with my new tatty, right? It takes me approximately 1 hour to get ready in the morning.
Okay.
Which means I wake up at 9, get out of bed at 9:30, meander around for 15 minutes, and then I start getting ready for work.
What was stopping you from getting to Frankie's at 11?
Because I still didn't feel great.
That's what I'm saying. So, but good news is because it was, collaging cards. Everyone should follow at Thems. It's 3 times, right? Thems.
Let me check.
On Instagram, double check that. But that's our friend Frankie, who, if you're, out of towners should still follow. But if you're in town,
yes, out of towners should still follow because I'm not gonna say it, but there is an online store.
Okay.
And everything in store is online.
But in towners, Frankie does workshops once a month. And yesterday was the collaging some cards. So I made you this card.
Is it the third one?
Yeah. So it's got many. It contains multitudes. So I know it's getting like blocked out.
It doesn't know what to do.
Zoom camera. I'll post pictures. I'll send you some pics. But on the front, it says "Birds are real," and it's a collage of a bunch of birds.
Love.
Which I think is fun.
I did see you working on that. I saw pictures.
Yes, and then you open it up, and then there's some. Well, the thing really
just send pics later. Send pics later.
There's some animals. There's like a frog, a sheep, an owl, a dog that looks like Judith Light, the dog from Broad City.
Love.
Saguaro, a cow, a deer, and then there's this picture I cut out of 2 dogs kissing, and then I drew a heart around it, and I wrote, "This is you and me kissing, moi."
Aww.
And then the back is the queer side. It has a bunch of queer icons and
men.
Things. Yes, there's some nude men on top of each other. There's a penis I was able to cut out and put in the corner.
Oh my god!
There was some nude gay magazine that Frankie had. There's also Lance Bass. Because he's gay. Beyonce, queer icon Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Dolly Parton, Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
Rachel Sennett from Shiva
I don't know who that
Baby
is,
and
but okay.
Bodies.
Okay.
Rachel Sennett it's LA. You don't have any eating disorder? Get one, bitch.
Get one, bitch.
There's a dolphin because dolphins are gay. Bears because you're a bear.
Oh.
I cut out some bats because spooky and gay.
Bats.
T. I'm just gonna say that T is gay. Also,
at this point, yes.
This deer there was a picture of this deer like with its leg kicked up trying to get through like barbed wire or something like a fence. But I just cut out the leg because it was like a sassy leg and I liked it. And then there's a picture of Lizzo playing the flute. There's Vern Cox. There's Nev Campbell, and there's the guy from Bros. That is also in the Hallmark movies. Yeah, that you thought was
hot one.
Great. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So whenever I see you, which will probably be next week, I will give you your card.
I love that. Thank you so much. To confirm,
Yeah.
it is thems on Instagram. If you look up thems period, it should also come up. But yeah, the website, you can also visit the website at www.themsphoenix spelled phx.com. That is www.themsphx.com.
Mm-hmm. Before we dive into Future February with our journey to the center of the earth talk, just real quick, I want to get your thoughts because we recorded our January episodes early, so like we didn't really get to comment on this news as it came out, as it dropped.
What?
But Phineas and Ferb is coming back.
Oh my god. I saw that. You posted on that. You shared the news.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, there's 104 days of summer vacation, and it's gonna happen again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Were there even 104 episodes?
I think there was more than that.
That's fucked up. It should have just been 104.
No, it can never
Yes, because
end.
it would have been the running bit.
There was 129 episodes.
Oh, but they added a winter
total.
break.
Remember, each
break?
one had 2 segments, basically, so 222 segments. Because it was,
Those
like
bitches-
2 15-minute
Yeah.
little bits. Yeah.
Listen, I've been doing a Grim Adventures rewatch, and I know that 15-minute fragmented thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know her.
But what are your thoughts? Are you excited? Or do you think we should leave her just behind? Leave her in the...
I mean,
depths?
part of me is like excited because it's such an iconic show, right? But also part of me is like, is this a cash grab?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like everything now is either like a cash grab or like, yeah, everything just feels like a cash grab.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it's hard to see.
Not to say that Princess Diaries 3 is a cash grab, right? But
I think it's interesting because the creator of Phineas and Ferb has a new show on Disney Channel called Hamster and Gretel. So like he already has it, and it's like funny that like Phineas and Ferb fans, I'm sure like I know a lot of Phineas and Ferb fans do watch that show, but like a lot of the people that are getting excited for like the new episode of Phineas and Ferb, it's like go support his other show too.
And that's my thing. It's like it feels so
support
like,
new IPs.
Yeah. Like it just, that's what I mean by cash grab. It feels like like I'm always scared that people that are like, we're gonna bring back, like when they tried to bring back Powerpuff Girls because they were like, it's gonna be so good, and then it kind of flopped.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
I feel
I'd
like
like
if
to see
anyone, I feel like if like any show can make it work,
It's Phineas.
I mean, obviously, Proud Family is doing well too. But, like Phineas and Ferb, we saw like even just a few years back, like Candace Against the Universe was great. Like,
yeah.
It'll probably be great. So that's what I'm hoping for. But
As long as the animation doesn't change.
it's not like a American Dragon Jake Long.
Yeah,
situation.
like oof. Or did you ever watch that show Chaotix?
My brother did. My brother watched Chaotic.
That show also went through like a little animation shift.
Mm.
Isn't that the era of like Flash animation?
We've had a discussion about this because we were talking about Mucha Lucha,
Yeah,
and that was like one of the first or last
Flash
I think
animations.
first, Flash shows. Anyways,
Yeah,
I
but
just
that
wanted
one,
to
like
bring
that
up.
that one stayed consistent. It wasn't like here's it drawn beautifully, and then here's fucking flat stick figures. You know?
Flat Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, yeah. As more news comes out about that, we'll talk about it. Not that I know that if there will be any news, they might be like kind of what Proud Family did and be like, here's the list of all guest stars coming on. You know,
I think
who do
that'd
you
be
want to
fun.
guest star
In Phineas and
in the new
Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb?
The entire cast of High School Musical.
And that will happen because you're manifesting it.
And it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm.
And because Zac Efron has nothing to do right now.
Because Zac Efron is just... Does he still look kind of fucked up because of whatever he had?
Something... I wouldn't put it as fucked up, but yes, he does look...
He look a little different?
His jaw is different because he said that he, like, fell or something or hit it.
I thought he had, like, a disease. I thought he got, like, jaundice.
No, that was you when you were born.
Oh my god!
That's not like me trying to be mean. Juan did have jaundice when he was born.
I guess so. I guess I did.
Your mom wouldn't lie.
You sure?
Would she? Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and dive to Journey to the Center of the Earth. Journey to the Center of the Earth, also promoted as Journey to the Center of the Earth 3D or Journey 3D.
Journey
2008 is a 2008 American 3D science fantasy action adventure film directed by Eric Brevig and starring Brendan Fraser in the main role, as well as Josh Hutcherson, Anita Bream, and Seth Meyers.
What? Oh yeah, he's in this.
Yeah, I don't know what I guess he's famous enough by 2008 to be credited as one of the top people. Not that there were many people in this movie, but like he's only
there were literally 5
30
people.
seconds.
6 tops.
It's an adaptation of Jules Verne's 1864 novel, which had previously been adapted multiple times, most notably in the 1959 film of the same name. Never heard of her.
You know what? I don't know.
And she sounds like a flop.
Maybe she didn't do great.
Was released, like I said, in 3D on July 11th, 2008.
Work.
Yes. So directed by... It looks like 2008.
It looks like 2008.
And some of the references in here feel like 2008.
There were references?
There's just one line that I'll talk about later where it sounds like, okay, this was 2008.
Okay.
It's
all
like
right.
one line that dates
I'll wait.
it, but other than that. So Eric Brevig actually was a visual effects supervisor and second unit director for some other movies. And for those that don't know what like a second unit director is, it's like
no.
Usually for movies, you know, you have all your scenes with the actors, right? But you also have scenes where they're not in there, like a location, like an establishing shot of a location, or like B-roll of locations, or like an insert where it's like Josh Hutcherson grabbing something from his backpack, and it's not the actor's hand; they just got someone to put their hand in. Like half the time, it's a very feminine hand for this like manly man, and you're like, that's not. They could have got a different hand. Anyways,
why don't they just have the actors do it?
Sometimes they do, but sometimes because like it's be tedious, and actors are just so important. We got to keep them.
I guess movies.
You got to keep them busy. Gotta keep them safe.
Do shit.
But yeah, so second year directors will usually do that kind of stuff. There's like only like a couple directors out there that really direct that kind of stuff. Like I know what's his face, that fucking guy. Who's the Inception guy? What's that guy's name? I can see his face.
He doesn't let you sit down on Zimmer.
Yeah,
he doesn't sit down.
What's that director's name? It's not Michael Bay.
Hey Google, who directed Inception?
Inception was directed by Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah, I believe he doesn't have a second unit director on his movies. He just does it himself, which is like, okay, a lot of work, but whatever.
What has Christopher Nolan done?
I would honestly just employ someone else.
Did he do the Batman
movies? Out someone. Yeah, so he did the Batman movies and Inception. And I think that's what I read about him doing. I feel like I was reading about Dark Knight Rises, maybe, or maybe it was just that movie.
Is it when he broke the IMAX camera?
Maybe, but
one of the only like 4 in the world, I guess.
I'm not gonna go fact check this now, but I believe I remember reading that he does all of his second units just himself. Anyway, so this director has worked on some films doing that stuff. So he's done visual effects for movies like Hook and The Indian in the Cupboard and Men in Black, Wild Wild West.
Those are good.
And The Village. And then he was
good
second unit director for Indian in the Cupboard, Men in Black, Wild Wild West, Pearl Harbor, The Island, and John Carter.
John Carter of Mars?
Yes. The very same.
I love that movie, then, you know I do.
So, but as a director, not second unit, but just overall director, he has directed this movie, Journey to the Center of the Freaking Earth, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2010's Yogi Bear. Which did flop, and he hasn't made movies since.
Well, was that live action?
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
I think it was CG. It was like Justin Timberlake and Dan Aykroyd were Boo Boo and Yogi, and then there was like live action people. I never saw it.
It was that era of like, let's bring old cartoons and make them 3D.
It was that era. Thank God they didn't do that to my king, Huckleberry Hound.
Oh God. Well, let me say something. Stop. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Stop. No. Anyways, and then the movie was written by Michael D. Weiss, who I can't click on. He doesn't have a Wikipedia, so sorry, Michael, you don't exist because you don't have a Wikipedia. Mark Levin and Jennifer Flackett also wrote, and I did
Jennifer what?
On them. Jennifer Flackett. I'm not saying okay. But they are a husband and wife, not law team, but husband and wife.
Those ads
that might only be a bid for the Arizona people. The husband and wife law team. So they're a husband and wife director and writer team. So they directed Little Manhattan, starring Josh Hutcherson. So there's a connection there. But they also directed Nim's Island, starring Abigail Breslin.
Okay, Nim's Island, the last Nimsy.
Remember. And then they also wrote Madeline movie, Wimbledon, and The Adam Project, which just came out on Netflix like last year.
Okay.
And people were talking about it, and I said, listen, I'm just not going to watch it.
Listen, I don't care enough about Ryan. I was going to say Gosling. Reynolds.
Ryan Murphy.
Him too, all of them.
What if Ryan Murphy was in that movie instead? Not behind the scenes. He was in the movie as Adam.
I think he would die. I think the aliens would have gotten
him. So this budget that I'm looking at here says $60 million for this movie. What do you think the box office was? It's 2008. We weren't streaming anything. It's the summer. You had to go out and do something. It was in 3D and in 4D in some places. So it made some money. I'll say that.
4D? They were misting people in the theater?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
It was just Brendan Fraser with
a fucking with a super soaker.
Yeah. With a water gun.
Say the number again of the budget.
The budget was $60 million.
Mm-hmm. I don't have faith. I'm gonna say 40 million.
I said it made money.
No.
I said all of that lead up to say that it did make over 60 million. I'll tell you that it even made over 100 million. I'll tell you that.
I was gonna say it made 120 million. I was gonna say it doubled its budget.
It did a little better than that. It did 244.2 million. So
I have to remember it's 2008. People were just hungry
we were
for 3D.
bored.
People were horny for Brendan Fraser and young Judge Hutcherson. If you were a teenager, hopefully.
Judge Hutcherson. Within the vowel. Jish.
Jish Hutcherson.
But yeah, so like the 4D aspect, because the film also introduced the 4DX movie format featuring 4D motion effects in a specially designed cinema in Seoul, South Korea, using tilting seats to convey motion, wind, sprays of water, and sharp air, probe lights to mimic lighting, fog, scents, and other theatrical special effects.
Am I in the fucking Shrek theater before it got closed down at Universal? That's what this is. Okay, have you ever been on one of those 4D rides?
No. I know it.
They're kind of fucked up.
I think
I'm not gonna lie.
SeaWorld, I think they had a 4D thing there you could go to.
The Mantis.
But it seemed like Scoopy. It seemed like some spooky like lighthouse thing. And I was so little that I was always scared of it. So I don't think I've ever done any 4D stuff.
It hurts. Like, I'm gonna say this out loud. People can come at me. I love that Shrek 3D thing, that Shrek 4D thing that they had at Universal, but goddamn did that bitch give me scoliosis. It felt like I was riding the Matterhorn, but without moving. It was bad.
Wow. I'm so sorry for you. You may be entitled to settlements.
And
Call the husband and wife law team. So this movie, though it made some money, it did get mixed reviews from critics.
Yeah.
I know you're wondering what our
did he
Lord and Savior Roger Ebert said. So he gave the movie 2 out of 4 stars and said this is a fairly bad movie.
A movie 2 stars.
And yet at the same time, maybe about as good as it could be. There may not be an 8-year-old alive who would not love it. So he said, hey, the kids will love it.
No, and that's literally it. Like, I'm watching... Okay, spoilers for what I think about this movie. I'm watching it, right? And halfway through the movie, I'm like, okay, we're 30 minutes in. It should be over pretty soon, right? As it kept going, I was like, and it's over now. And it's gonna end now.
When
like,
did you watch this?
I know when it ends. Today.
This morning?
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe that has something to do with it.
No.
Because I had a very different experience.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I've seen this movie before.
Oh!
I've seen this movie before, just to get into it already. I've seen this movie before. I specifically... Sorry, I'm taking in phlegm. I can't remember if it was definitely the era of Redbox, right? Like, or Blockbuster, or something like that. Like, something was still around in 2008.
Probably Blockbuster in 2008.
No, might have been Redbox. Middle school?
No, Redbox was when we were in like high school, like 2010s.
Okay, so Blockbuster, something, right? We rented this movie because I remember I saw it from beginning to end because I wanted to see it. And I remember it being so much fun. Like, it was such a good time.
Did you see it in 3D? Oh, no, you were at home. Sorry, I
glasses on. But then I watched it today, and I was like, I don't know. There's not a lot. Like, there's not a lot going on here. Right? And this is why I understand Roger Ebert's critique. It's like, younger me loved this because it was just like, action. It had a roller coaster bit, like every fucking movie in the early 2000s.
It's giving Scooby-Doo, Spooky Island.
It's giving Scooby-Doo, Spooky Island. It's giving Be Prepared, Be Prepared. Yeah. It's giving that. It's giving Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
It's that giving also Donkey Kong Country.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Minecart Carnage. Did you ever play that level?
No, I never played Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, I had it for Game Boy Advance, and that was my favorite level. Was the minecart one? It was very fun,
I might have played it once.
but hard. Those fucking bees would always sting you.
Those bees. Never trust a bee in Apartment 23. There we go. Callback. To that show. But I like I don't know. I just wasn't having fun, and I think because this movie and what's that other one? Not the Lost World. That's Jurassic Park. Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost
are literally just the same fucking movie.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't
the
seen
same
that.
thing.
I just added that like to my list for something because I know it's like bad. Like over the
It's
years,
also
I've
bad.
heard that it's bad, but like I wanted to see it for myself.
But like after watching like Kong and like Godzilla movies, where it's like,
Oh, stop!
no,
Stop it! This was 2008. We couldn't
No.
even put Godzilla on the screen unless it was running around with Matthew Broderick.
And it looked like a velociraptor. Damn, my family is fucking living it up out there. They're cackling. But I don't know. It just felt like every scene was there, but there was nothing beyond. You know what I mean? It was like, here's a scene.
That.
Here's a scene. Here's a
It's
like sequence. They're called sequences.
There's no weirdly. We haven't even dove into it yet, but weirdly, maybe because like there's no storyline outside of.
They're just there.
The like cave where like we cut back. Like I really thought we were gonna see the mom, like the sister-in-law again. You literally never see her again after she shows up the first time. I thought it was gonna be like, I haven't heard from my son Josh Hutcherson. Where is he? And then her talking to like her Canadian her like new Canadian pals being like, because she's been to Canada. I thought she was gonna be like talking to a Mountie saying, I have to find my son.
I have to go to the center of the earth. No, I just it just felt like everything was just like everything was a spectacle, but none of it had substance. Does that make sense?
Well, let me ask you this. So you saw this movie, but
Yes.
Did you see the sequel, Journey to the Mysterious Island?
No.
But did you know that existed?
Yes, I know that exists because it also stars speaking of High School Musical.
Yes, it does star Vanessa Hudgens.
It has Vanessa Hudgens, yes, starring as Josh Hutcherson's love interest or something or that now.
Yes, it's The Rock. Josh Hutcherson returns. He's the only one that did. Vanessa Hudgens. Also, Michael Caine's in it.
Work.
Which is weird because like
it's Michael Caine.
But like, wasn't he? I guess enough time had passed between this and Shark Boy and Lava Girl that he was available. But that's a little bit. That's a callback to our
good job.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl IMDb trivia bit. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was like, good job singing and landing.
This movie got a sequel in 2012.
But here's
and
the
it
thing.
Actually made more money.
It's because of fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
It's because of Dwayne.
I don't. Okay. I'm gonna get hate crimed. I'm starting to not be the biggest Dwayne fan.
Not Dwayne.
I'm off of the Dwayne train.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like. I'm like. I think he's a great person, probably, but like,
he's such a mediocre actor.
Like, I haven't even really seen that many of his movies, but I don't like seek them out. You know what I mean?
Like, no, and that's the thing. Like,
I saw The Rundown when I was a child, and I thought that was a good movie.
I saw Moana.
Oh, and he was that, yeah.
Yeah, he was Maui.
But like, wasn't he in Jumanji's?
And that
he was in,
yes,
he was in the new
yeah,
I was like,
he was
whatever.
in the new Jumanji's. But I'm just like Dave Bautista is a better actor wrestler than he is. I think Dave Bautista can give substance.
I will tell you that Brendan Fraser declined to do the second one. Is what I read.
Okay. Were you sensing the fact that I was going to attack Dwayne Johnson for taking
No, I was about to say like it would have been better if it was just Brendan Fraser again, but I was like he didn't want to do it, so like I'm not gonna be like why didn't he do it? Or like
There's
why
something
didn't
about
they ask him back? Because apparently they did.
There's something about Brendan Fraser and not wanting to do sequels. Have you noticed? He only did The Mummy.
Well, he did the third,
Yeah,
and then
and
look
that's
how that
it.
turned out. I actually haven't seen
I like the third one.
Dream of the
I
Dragon
like
third, but I
the
just
dragon.
added it to my list. But it's mentioned
It's
in one of my IMDb reviews that I picked. But speaking of Brendan Fraser, so just in general, obviously we're in the middle of like a Fraser Science.
The Fraser revival.
For those
because
that don't
of the whale.
know, because of the whale, but because so Brendan Fraser was like king of the late 90s, early 2000s, because obviously this month we're talking about this movie, George of the Jungle, which was like his first big like main leading role movie.
And The Mummy.
He was also of course in the Mummy movies, Encino Man. He was in Airheads.
What's the one where he's underground and then he comes up from underground?
What?
Isn't there a movie where he's like his parents like they think
the world? Blast from the Past. Sorry, I was thinking more of like a less of a rom-com, more of like a gritty movie.
Oh no.
Yes, Blast from the Past. I love that movie. Like he was really king there for a minute. And then this was like really one of his last big things before things started to take a turn. And that is because it's presumed like that because trigger warning, because I'm going to talk about assault. So he spoke out saying that he had been assaulted by the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press from back in the 2000s, in 2003. And because of that, because of, how the industry fucking sucks and how people are monsters, I just watched the movie She Said about the two reporters that took down Harvey Weinstein and everything. But, the industry, everyone's like, everyone's protecting the big gross abusers.
Everyone has pockets. Everyone has hands in pockets.
Everyone's like trying to not lose their own hides, their own asses in this industry. So they just kind of turn the other cheek going, what? No, we didn't hear this. What? I pretend not to see it. I pretend not to hear it. Suddenly I can't read. So because of this, he like lost opportunities in the industry. And that's why like you didn't really see him in anything from like 2010 on. He was on like some TV stuff here and there, but that is why
I never knew that he was a victim of assault.
Yes. And then he just came back with The Whale.
He's also on Doom Patrol.
Yeah, like he was doing some TV stuff as well, like Doom Patrol, which is more recent, but he was on like a Showtime show. Like he was on a couple TV things in like the late 2010s, but other than that, like that was the reason he really fell from like not fell, but like was fucking like pushed off of this, just being a leading man, like a bankable actor in the how it was in the 2000s. Yeah. Which just
he was supposed to be the Firefly in the new Batgirl movie. I just remember.
The one we're not gonna get?
Yeah, because for some reason DC is I'm gonna say this. I am not gonna watch a single DC movie going forward. I think they're boring. I think they're bad. I think they look terrible. Even some Marvel movies, I'm not gonna watch them. I think they look bad.
DC? You mean the people that haven't fired Ezra Miller yet?
That too. Also that. Very that.
They said, this person's a menace to society, but we're not going to do anything about it.
But yet they fire...
We're not going to fire him. We're not going to fire them from The Flash.
But yet they fire our God Prince himself, Henry Cavill, formerly known as The Witcher, formerly known as Superman.
Anyways, but we love Brendan Fraser. What's your favorite Brendan Fraser movie?
I'm looking through them right now. Give me a second.
I know it. You're gonna say it. Let's just say it at the same time. Your favorite movie from Brendan Fraser. 3, 2, 1. It's Looney Tunes
Mummy.
back in action. Okay. Okay. The Mummy is great, and because he has so many good movies from the 90s and 2000s, I'm sure next year we will continue with Fraser February and talk about The Mummy.
It's gonna
what
be
an
a thing
iconic
every
film.
year.
That was a sexual awakening for not me, but a lot of people, especially bi people, because like everyone in that movie was hot. You had like Rachel Weisz, and you had
Granny.
him, and you had the brother, you had the bald guy,
Bald.
that bald guy who looks like Billy Zane, but it's not Billy Zane. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Bald.
And then you had The Rock as the Scorpion King.
Who?
The Rock is the Scorpion King.
I don't know. Okay. So here's my thing with The Rock. Also, Brendan Fraser has said some cryptic shit that made it seem like Dwayne is not the greatest person.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to read into that.
There's like an interview that like infers that like Dwayne like said some shit to Brendan Fraser and like made him feel like inferior and shit.
Ooh.
Maybe Dwayne also was defending the guy.
Dwayne, when I see you,
It's on site.
I mean, I'm not going to be able to do anything because you can kick my ass, but I will glare at you.
Am I spreading misinformation about Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I don't know. We'll have to look into
I'll do
that.
it.
Anyways, I think my favorite Brendan Fraser movie, I mean, George of the Jungle was like such an iconic movie for me as a kid.
Yeah.
But I also really, again, I did grow up liking Looney Tunes back in action. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was fun, and it's like meta, kind of poking at fun of himself.
I mean, it is fun.
Obviously, The Mummy's a classic, but I do really love Blast from the Past, as he got to do the rom-com thing.
I saw the beginning of Blast from the Past, but I never finished it, and I'm really mad that I never did because it looked so good.
It's fun, and maybe we'll talk about it for a Fraser February. You never know.
Okay.
Anyways, trivia for this movie. So, sorry, I'm burping.
Sorry, I'm doing burpees.
So when Anna says that she's gonna charge $5,000 an hour to be their guide at the mountain, it's in Icelandic currency, so it's just like $65 an hour. Which, because I was like, okay, rich, 5,000, because I guess because you're a professor, you can afford that. It was just $65 an hour.
He made it sound like he was panicking with his bank, calling for loans.
I know you were wondering what the dinosaur saliva was made of. It was a mixture of hair gel, 7-Up, and peat moss.
Peat and moss?
Peat moss.
Ain't that Pete Wentz's brother?
And finally, this again, just Brendan Fraser being a badass. The Rock would never do this.
What did he do?
So at the end of the movie, when Trevor lights up the flare and the wall burns because it's magnesium, he's supposed to burn himself in the movie. Like that's supposed to be what happens to the character. But Brendan Fraser really did burn himself on the second take. And I think it's the one. It might be the one they use in the movie. I don't know, but he did do it while filming, and they had to shut down production for a few days. But he still did it.
They used real flares?
It says he was holding the road flare too perpendicular and too close to the wall, so the flames bounced off the wall and hit his bare hand. His screams were okay. So maybe it is the take in the movie because it says his screams were a combination of real pain and acting.
He's such a fucking king. He said, "I burnt my hand, but I'm not cutting character. I'm not breaking." That's me breaking, bitch.
Keep it rolling, Eric. Keep it rolling.
You
Okay,
caught
so
that
you're. Are you getting? Are you following me, camera guy? Remember the
No.
what was that called?
What?
The ShamWow. Are you following me, camera guy? I'm just pulling out the references today. I don't know.
You're just pulling out the commercials out of left, right, and center right now.
Your history, you mentioned that you got this from a Blockbuster, possibly in middle school. I remember when this came out, but I didn't see it. Inkheart, that was another one around this time where it was like Brendan Fraser going on an adventure.
Oh, he was an Inkheart. You're
Remember
right.
Inkheart? Never saw it and never read the book. Like,
I think
he was always going on adventures. Ooh.
Brendan Fraser was like the explorer action hero. Like he was typecasted as like this like explorer type guy, like just like adventurer.
Adventurers,
and that's what I want to be.
But yeah, so I never saw this, and this was in my iTunes because it was like on sale on iTunes for like $5, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I bought it. I bought it thinking we'll need this for the podcast one day. So
maybe
I bought
someday.
it, and we did use it for the podcast. What? So there.
Wow.
So there.
Money well spent.
Yes. So this movie opens with a fossil and then a CGI bug.
A little bug.
A little bugs. It's giving the bugs from the Mummy that crawl under your skin.
The scarabs.
And then we see. Oh, go ahead.
A chase. We see a chase.
What else is it giving?
It's giving budget Jurassic Park. It's giving the T-Rex from Meet the Robinsons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see this dinosaur chasing a man, and he falls into lava and shouts, "Trevor!" And then Trevor, Brendan Fraser's character, wakes up from this nightmare that he just had.
Does that ever happen? Oh my god, that's like the time. That's like the time that I woke up screaming your name. Do you remember that? Did I tell you about that?
You've told me that, but I wasn't there.
No, you weren't there because I was in my room and you were in your room. But yeah, that's scary.
We were in different buildings in planes of existence. Yeah. So yeah, Brendan Fraser is Trevor in this film. He wakes up from a nightmare. He gets ready to go. This is where I was like, okay, this movie was filmed in 3D. Because like, it's one of those when you watch like a Spike 3D or like Alice in Wonderland, like a lot of the shots look like they're
Alice in Wonderland wasn't.
I saw Alice in Wonderland 3D. The
Me too, bitch.
Oh, okay.
You ain't special.
Okay, well, like not. It wasn't as obvious.
This is like it's one of those like whoa.
It was very Spy Kids or Shark Boy and Lava Girl like pointing at the screen or like shit being thrown at the screen.
It's like here's a knife, right? I'm gonna get ya. And like it's like this, like tilted.
Yeah. So when he spits, when he like brushes his teeth and spits into the sink, but POV,
I didn't even notice.
POV, you're the sink. I was like,
POV, I'm sitting there with my mouth open, ready to catch it.
POV, I was like, okay, this was it's a 3D movie, which is just weird. Like, it didn't ruin it for me watching it, obviously in 2D, but I was just like, oh, it's just really funny when you can watch those 3D movies in 2D and see all the very obvious gimmicks for it to be a 3D movie.
Yeah, it's giving like horror movie 3D or horror movies in 3Ds, like that was a thing too, where it was like
Piranha 3D.
I'm gonna throw my hatchet at you. What?
Piranha 3D.
I was gonna make a joke about that later.
Never saw it, but I remember when it came out. So he's a professor. He's teaching his college class. At first, I was like, "Is this high school?" but then the setup was like it's supposed to be college.
But also, like, what kind of college class looks like that? Like,
It's like a small lecture hall.
It's a small lecture hall, but like everyone's like out of it. Everyone's fucking around. Like,
that's why I thought it was high school, and then I was like, no, this is supposed to be college. They're just stupid.
That's just unrealistic. Like, I've had classes before where it was like zero participation, but no one was just outright like in the middle of the lecture.
For audio listeners, Juan, went on his phone to text. What's the bit?
I was leaning back.
Yeah. So he goes to his lab, and we meet Alan Kitsons, played by Seth
Who's
Meyers.
On lab.
I was not
when Seth Meyers showed up. I was like, I forgot that you fucking were in this.
I forgot that. I literally was like, did he exist in 2008? But then, and I was like, when was Weekend? Because like, I know he existed, but I mean, like, did he book movie roles at this time? Like, I thought 2008 he was still just on Weekend Update, but I guess by this time.
But like, he's also not playing like a comedic role. He's playing like this, like
playing a sleazeball.
Yeah, like what the fuck? That's such a weird role for him to have.
I do remember he had a very small part in Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, which was the same year as this movie. So he was just booking those little bit parts, I guess.
Yeah, but like Nick and Nora seems like more up his alley than this.
It's like New York. He was in town. Yeah.
Well, also because it's like a comedy, and he's probably being funny in that.
Yes. He plays a guy who's like making out with his girlfriend. When like they get the whole bit in that movie. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
No? Oh, the whole bit how like everyone thinks Michael Cera's car is a cab. He and his girlfriend get in there and they're making out the whole time.
Work.
And they tell him to like drive because he's a cab. Anyway, but yeah, it was not a jump scare because it was pleasant. I didn't mind. I like Seth Meyers, so I was like, oh, you were the last person I was expecting to show up in this movie.
But he did.
He shows up and gives some bad news. He says that they are pulling the plug on the lab. We find out
which is his brothers.
Yeah, it's his brothers and his brother who was in the dream. It's all connecting.
And his name is Michael Max.
So then we meet more family because we know dead brother. We have the sister-in-law. So this is at brother's wife.
Yes.
Who had a kid with Max named Josh Hutcherson. Just kidding. His name is Sean, played by Josh Hutcherson in this movie.
Such a wild name, Sean.
He is not excited to stay with his uncle for these 10 days. He's on his PSP.
Who had one?
Sony was paying for that promo.
They sure did.
I wanted a PSP so bad.
I think everyone did, but
and
like
I never
they
got
weren't that
one.
great.
No,
could you? I was gonna ask him, like, can you surf the web? Because he fucking uses that for Google on an airplane later.
I love that you called it surf the web. I'm guessing you could. I just remember the discs.
Yeah, the little CDs.
Yeah, the little discs.
Those GameCube size looking bitches.
Yeah, that you would put in there. Anyways, so the whole thing is like they're about to move to Canada. So she's gonna go get everything ready up there, and Josh Hutcherson will meet her up there later.
Which means like they must be like close as hell. Like they must be living in like Michigan. What's a state that borders Canada? North Carolina,
York, Minnesota.
Oh, they are probably in New York. That looks like a suburb.
I don't think it ever said where we are.
No, I didn't. But like,
I guess it doesn't really matter because the rest of the movie takes place in Iceland, and Italy. But she gives, along with her dropping off Sean, she gives Brendan Fraser this box of Max's old stuff.
He said, "This is your brother's old shit. Take it."
as in this box, there is, you know, a yo-yo. So there's that whole 3D bit.
Whoa!
Among other things, there is
A
the
book?
The Journey to the Center of the Earth book by Jules Verne in the box, and he opens it up and sees that Max wrote a bunch of notes in that book.
He's writing nonsense. He's writing Kajubaliglop. He's putting runes in there. He's playing RuneScape with it.
Oh, hold on. This was the 2008 line. This just felt like 2008. Josh Hutcherson.
Can I guess?
No, go ahead.
Can I guess? Is it when he goes, and we better TiVo Family Guy?
The whole line is, as long as you keep the fridge stocked with Mountain Dew and TiVo Family Guy, we'll be fine. It just felt 2008 in a nutshell.
And here's the thing. I think this is also why I didn't like this movie this time around. That line and the line where he goes, I call dibs.
Yeah,
on Hannah.
That was not.
Right from that point on, I was like, this is a very like straight male audience that they're going for, like a young, like a tween teenager boy audience, and I don't know how I like that now.
Speaking of Hannah, so I was looking into like the age difference because it felt weird that Brendan Fraser in real life
37
is 14 years older than her.
How old was she?
I mean, right now she's 40 and Brendan Fraser's 54. But she's closer in age to Josh Hutcherson because Josh Hutcherson's 30.
So was she the same age as Josh Hutcherson?
No.
He's in the 30. Movie.
Oh. Oh, because no, that would. No, because he's supposed to be like 12. How old was she
supposed to be in the movie?
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying is it did feel weird. Maybe just because we know that Brendan Fraser, like, we've watched him a lot as we grew up, so we know that he's like an older person. And this girl, we'd never seen her before in our lives, so like.
I thought she was old.
Because how
thought she was like in her 30s. He has to be like in his 30s.
Yeah, he has to be in his 30s because he's a fucking professor.
I also thought she was supposed to be like in her late 20s or 30s because she said her dad had just passed.
Yeah.
Not that parents should be passing in people's late 20s or 30s, but like, you know what I mean? Like she still looked youthful but old.
Anyways, okay, so they go to the lab because, you know, Trevor.
Sure.
Such a weird name for a professor.
Well, because Trevor, yeah.
Like some names just like don't sound good when you're trying to be like distinguished. And Trevor is one of them. Trevor sounds like a little boy who's gonna egg your house, you know?
Trevor sounds like someone who's like Trevor sounds like Trevor, like the one Trevor that we know. Like a cool guy,
Trevor,
really smart.
though.
No, what?
I don't know.
Melissa's Trevor.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay. Yeah, like Trevor sounds like a name of someone who's like cool and like has their shit together, but isn't like, you know.
Trevor to me sounds like a kid's name.
Is
look,
like
the only Trevor
older,
that I know is the Trevor
like,
Project. Everyone,
wow.
This is your reminder to donate. No, I don't know. Just some sound more grown up than that. I love.
Is it like Billy becomes Bill becomes William?
Yeah, but there's
like
no
Trev.
version of that for Trevor.
Yeah, there is.
What is it then?
Trev becomes Trevor becomes Alejandro.
Like that's what I'm saying. There's not like a thing. It's like there's some names like if you had a Dr. Trevor, you don't think that'd be weird?
One of my doctors is named Taylor. But that sounds more distinguished.
It's a regular name.
Trevor's not a real name?
I said it's a regular name. Like Taylor.
Trevaro? What if
Trevaro is literally
what if Trev becomes Trevor becomes Trevaro? Like a Pokemon. Like it's evolving. At the final stage is Trevaro.
Hotel
Trivago.
Trivago. There's just some names, like, every once in a while people will tweet like I'm not respecting any adult named, like, and it'll be like some name where it's like this is a child's name,
It's like reverse. Like there's no child named Gertrude. There's no
Yeah.
little girl named Gertrude.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. It was an interesting name to come up with for his character, and I think I read that he was named after some scientist. Whatever. I'm not going to look into it now. Anyways, so they go to the lab because he's like, your dad wrote some stuff in this book. I want to see what the fuck he's talking about here.
I'm gonna go do some sleuthing.
Yes, he does some sleuthing, and he realizes that his brother went to Iceland, and that's where he disappeared, and now he needs to go. He's got to.
And then, because they're like the numbers are lining up to my data right now, and then Josh Hutcherson goes, "There's 4 bleeps on the map," and he's like, "No, there should only be 3," and that's when they're like, "Okay, Iceland."
Mm-hmm.
Some shit about plate tectonics, Pangina, something like that.
Pangea, yeah. And so they get on a plane, they go to Iceland. Like you said, he's Googling on his PSP. So they decide to go to Sigbjorn's Institute. Sigbjorn something
Something Thor, something Icelandic, yeah.
Yes. So they end up finding this place, which is really just like a shack.
It's a hut. It's a palm hut.
And they meet Hannah. They open the door, and it's that classic part of like, "Oh, pretty girl.
Oh! It can't be. Oh,
I literally wrote an old man.
I literally wrote down an attractive science woman. What?
Oh no, she's hot.
Like it's the bit of like you have to go see Professor Rigmarole. She teaches biochem, and you're like, it's gonna be this old bitch, and then it's like a bimbo in like a lab coat, and like her titties are like out. Yeah,
exactly. And then you're like, you probably shouldn't be teaching here, ma'am.
You go up there and be like,
out.
Yeah, if I'm gonna gaze, I can't learn because your titties are fucking massive.
You're asking for it.
Oh, anyway. Not that.
Well, that's we all know what you were saying.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was oddly enough, the reason I watched Get a Clue the other day randomly.
Okay, love.
Because I was like,
and that's the way it goes now.
Come on, get a clue. But like there's a part where they're walking down the hallway, like right after what's his name?
Jack.
Mr. What's his name? The guy who fixes that.
Mr. Blackmail.
Yeah, whatever his name, Blackmail 30. When they walk in and they're wearing all black because they're mourning his death, and I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I'm like, that skirt is not fingertip length. And I'm like, but it's New York, so no one cares. There's not a conservative man being like, my son can't concentrate because he can see her ankles.
It's New York. Don't have an upskirt photo of every schoolgirl. Get one, bitch.
Get a photographer.
Okay, so yes, they meet Hannah, and she says that Sigbjorn Smorgasbord was her father, and he is dead.
He passed 3 winters ago. That's such a weird way.
The institute is closed now, yes. Winters. Just say years, bitch.
My Victorian mother died 3 springs ago, back when the autumn blooms were hatching. I don't know.
47 Arbor days ago. Like, what? What kind of measurement of time?
I haven't seen her in 26 moons. What?
Excuse me, bitch. Like, enough. Okay, so Hannah, she's like, he's like, I need to get to where these fucking seismic clicks are. Click, click, clack.
I need a guide.
I'll take you up there. I happen to be a mountain guide. I'll take you up there for 5,000 quid or whatever the Icelandic
5,000 quid.
Yeah.
For
And then
3 hay pennies and a tissue.
yes, so they go up to this mountain and they find the sensor that's measuring these clicks and everything.
But goddamn, is this lightning persistent? This is the lightning that killed Kurt Hummel in that movie Struck by Lightning.
Sure.
This persistent ass lightning.
Yes, God was angry that day because he was
Zap,
just zapping
zap.
everyone. He was one of the bitches from Read It and Weep. Zip, zap, zapping everyone away.
They're
Brendan
playing that
Fraser's
game. Zap.
Zip, zip, zap,
Zoop.
They were playing an improv game of zip, zap, zop on these motherfuckers because Brendan Fraser is trying to take this because he's like, this is the only way we're gonna like get to know the answers, whatever. And she's like,
no.
because her and Josh Hutcherson booked it. They said bye bye.
They went under a rock.
You need to put the big piece of metal down because it's a lightning storm,
And it's attracting the lightning.
And you're gonna die. So they end up being
Somewhere up
trapped
in the clouds. Cave. Storm was mad. Storm was pissed.
They end up trapped in a cave, and they need to find a new way out. Yes, they're caved in, so they're like, gotta find another way out. We gotta dig or something.
And here's the thing. They're so easy to give up. Brendan Fraser and this girl are like, well, we have to keep going in. And Josh Hutcherson's like, I have a phone. We have hands. We can call someone and we can dig out. And they're like, no, we're stuck.
But they made the point, like, they said it's like 60 tons of rock or something.
They don't know that. They ain't weighing it.
He's a professor named Trevor. I have to believe him. So, like, yeah, it's like, honestly, if they say it's gonna be a waste of time, it's gonna be a waste of time.
That's true, and you don't want to waste your energy.
Yeah. So, yeah, they decide to go a different route. They end up finding this hole.
A hole?
They end up finding this giant hole, and they rappel down.
Mama, they found hole.
Band. Courtney Love and company.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is where they find out that there's magnesium in the rocks.
Yes,
because he goes, flare. Give me that flare, but then it catches on fire, and he dies.
Mm-hmm. He does not die. So they end up rappelling down, and they find an old mine tunnel that works. And this is the roller coaster scene of the movie.
This is the second I kind of forgot this part, but the second they were like an old mining, I was like, I know where the fuck this is going. Be prepared. Like straight up, no, dead ass.
I bet if this movie was just a little bit more successful,
it would have had a ride.
It would have had a ride at
I
Warner
thought the
Brothers
same thing. I was like,
World.
Was this produced by Universal? Like, where was this?
It's a Warner Brothers movie.
So it would have been at Universal.
It would have been at Warner Brothers World in Australia, which you and I are going to in 2050, maybe.
Work.
We're going to go to the WB Kids Zone and meet Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think that's a thing there.
Damn.
They have a WB Kids Zone, but I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh's there. Be cool, though.
Could you imagine if you could duel?
I could.
Give me a 3D dueling platform. Give me holograms. That'd be cool. I want that.
So there's that whole roller coaster scene. So they end up at the end of the mine where there's
after
diamonds.
They jump a fucking gap.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. There's diamonds and rubies and emeralds and oh my gosh, all these wonderful gems,
gemstones and diamonds and money.
All of the Steven Universe characters are here.
They're all here. There was never someone named Emerald. Could you believe?
No.
It's weird.
And that's like a name.
Yeah. That's an actual... I know an
People
Emerald.
Are named Emerald. Yeah.
Yeah. No one's named Diamond if you are... I mean, Marina. But she doesn't... She dropped them. She dropped that band. Would you have done what Josh Hutcherson did? I think he's the smartest person in the room because he goes, I'm going to take some of this and some of that.
It was very... Yeah, it felt very Goonies. which is not a diss. The Goonies is one of my favorite movies, but it reminded me of like in the Goonies where Mikey is like he takes some of the treasure and then at the end he forgets that he has it
in the marble bag,
and then that's what ends up saving them
yeah.
from like destroying their homes. And it was like the same wrap up at the end here with Josh Hutcherson.
But like, why wouldn't you? Like, I'm surprised Brendan Fraser and Hannah didn't just start going gobbledygook and ape shit on these walls. I would have, and maybe I'm just greedy, but like, I wrote that if I ever
you would have started grabbing, running across there, and you would have fallen on the Muscovite floor.
Is that even real?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
I'll do it.
Someone would go on the internet and spread lies? Do you think Brendan Fraser would go in this movie and spread lies? Muscovy duck?
Muscovite. Yeah, it is. It's real. It's a real thing.
I'm looking at it. It looks like artichokes in the first one.
This just looks like little plates. Little plate tectonics. Okay, word.
Muscovite
okay,
floor lamp. Who wants to buy?
Me. Let me see it.
Wait, I'm trying to look up like Muscovite ground. Like, did it break like that?
Muscovite sheet. I mean, you can get. I don't know. I don't know what kind of fucking
Can we Amazon that?
goop is going on.
Let's go ahead and Amazon that.
Okay.
Each layer is composed of 3 sheets. 3 sheets to the wind. Oh, this is so much science bullshit.
I don't know about this. Potassium, whatever. It's real.
Like, I considered changing my major to something in science. And isn't that funny?
You would have been somewhere else right now.
Me reading this, alkali metals such as sodium, rubidium, and calcium substitute for potassium. Like, what is this? What are they?
I know
saying?
some of those words.
I know the elements, but like, what do those words next to each other mean? Anyways,
I don't know what this combination of words says. Yeah,
well, yeah, it's this super thin rock floor, and they end up falling through it.
They eat hard shit.
Sean's fucking diamonds dropped.
And this is where we get another 3D where he goes, whoa!
Falls right on top of us. And then they have that scene where they're falling. It felt very Spy Kids 2.
It was giving Spy Kids 2, like, how long have we been falling?
Mm-hmm. So they end up falling into a water slide because that's kind of what Brendan Fraser says could be an option, is falling into like some water, and it would kind of be like a water slide because of some science stuff. I don't know. And then science. I'm assuming these are your favorite characters of this movie. We meet the glowing birds. The glow birds.
Bitch, when I tell you I lost my goddamn shit. I love cave dwelling birds. Like when I went to Utah.
Don't I know it? If there's one thing I know about you, it's you love cave dwelling birds.
They're my shit. There were these we went to these ice caves, right? But they were melted because it was the summertime and they melt in the summer. Very wet, very muddy. But I thought they were bats, and I was like, I'm not going there because I hate fucking bats. People that love bats, you're fucking crazy. Batman, I see you. I got your number, hussy. But like, I was surprised they were birds. They were swallows. They were little swallows. Mm-hmm. And they were just flying everywhere. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing. And so when I remembered these little birdies, I said, bitch, you got my heart. You got me right here.
They said we have to have some sort of character for those little bird freaks out there.
We have to make a mascot because one of those little birdies stays around the whole movie. Mm-hmm. Gets animated.
Some animal that leads Josh Hutcherson
to water.
To safety. Yeah.
You can lead a Josh Hutcherson to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yes. So these glow birds that have been thought to be extinct for like millions of years are no longer extinct because we see them right before our eyes.
What?
And they lead us to, oh my god, it's the center of the earth. There she is.
Wow. Isn't she beautiful?
Isn't she lovely? By Stevie
and then
Wonder.
Here's the thing, right? So, because we're 30 minutes into the movie. The last hour takes place. So the first 30 minutes is them
Get into the center
and get into the center, and then the hour that's left is all the center of the earth. They go so fast. There's like no exploration because like they literally go, oh, this is like a weird biome. Look at that light thing that's like a sun inside of the planet. Cool, great. Like we can montage this really fast because they do that. Do you have anything to say?
No.
Before I montage us to the cave.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so because deadass, what happens is like they see the cave, it's beautiful, wow, and then they go, what is that? Is that a sun? We don't know. We're not going to talk about it. Move on. Look at this giant mushroom forest. It's like the book. Cool. Move on. Like the cool thing, and this is why I bring this up. Remember King Kong?
Of course.
That movie's cool because when they get to Skull Island...
Stop. That movie is like 3 hours long.
And this movie's an hour and a half. They could do it.
Yes, and it's a kid's movie, and I personally thought it went by so fast, and I was so happy that it was only an hour and 30. I was like, yes, I love movies that are an hour and 30. Mwah. King Kong, I do love that movie. Honey, that is going to take me 3 hours to watch. And that's why they get into the nitty gritty and they fight all those bugs and all that shit. We didn't need all that in this. We didn't need all that. Kids don't have time for that, and I don't have time for that.
Fine. I wanted some more exploration. I wanted to know.
Then go watch King Kong, bitch.
Oh, God, I will.
Go watch King Kong, you little freak.
I love him, and you know I love him.
I love him
Anyways,
too.
we get to this fucking cave. This little weird cave.
Yes. Hold on. I have a question about... I know he mentions, like, the mantle and, like, the core and everything. So remember what we learned in science of, like, the different layers of the earth?
Yeah.
So there's the crust, pizza crust. Then there's the mantle.
Uh-huh.
Then there's the outer core. Then the inner core.
Yes.
Now, where the fuck are we? Like, in this movie where... I know he said at some point... He mentioned, like, mantle and something about the core.
We're in the mantle.
We're in the mantle.
Yes. There's a pocket inside of the mantle close enough to the outer core where there's still some heat that's being given off, but isn't hot enough. That's why, like, but only in certain placements, essentially.
Now, how could we say that this is the center when this little egg yolk at the top, you can't see it because there's this thing. This little egg yolk at the fucking top of this diagram is the inner core, and that's the technical center. And this is coming from Baiju's, the learning app.
Baiju's for Jews, the learning app.
It's spelled Byjus.
Bring your own Jews?
Bring your Jewish umpires. Sure. I don't know. I just clicked on. I was just looking at layers of the earth photos.
Thank you.
Diagram.
You for
I
Jews.
don't know.
I don't know.
So we're supposed to be in the mantle.
Yes, we're in the mantle.
Kelly Mantle.
I guess
Isn't that a person on Drag Race? I'm like, I heard you say that before, so it's got to be a drag queen.
Yes, Kelly Mantle. She's a legend.
And that's not necessarily me picking apart this movie. It's really me picking apart the story that Jules Verne wrote.
I guess it's called Journey to the Center of the Earth because it's like I guess you can't really reach the core, or else you die. So like the center.
That's
could
what I was
technically be the
expecting.
mantle.
I thought we were gonna be inflamed in
Death.
the core.
No. The way I think the way it works is like the outer core acts as like a second sun to like that pocket inside of the mantle, so it can still get warmth and still create shit. But I guess if it goes over, I don't know. This fucking part is weird. The thermal shit and the way they're like, we're gonna burn up alive. But I'm like, how are all the plants and animals still here? How's everything still here?
I'm gonna watch the sequel, and I better fucking end up in the core. I'll tell you.
No,
that.
they're going to Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
Oh, okay. So like, I'll save it for the end for like what that plot is. The second one. But yeah, so you mentioned that there's like a montage of them going around this fucking thing. The big thing here is that first of all, you didn't mention. I don't think you did mention, right, that they found the dead body of the dad.
What? Oh no, because we had just gotten
body.
there. We had just gotten there because they find this weird cave, right? And they're like, oh, this must have been where the author of the book was. Like, this is where what's his face was. They're like, oh, look at all his notes and shit. And then they go, isn't this your fucking? This is your dad's fucking journal, actually. Like, this is your dad's.
And then Hannah. Is this your dad's dead body?
Isn't this his fucking rotted corpse?
Yeah, so they end up like burying him and saying goodbye. But I was not expecting them.
Weird.
I was not expecting them to just come across. We don't see it, obviously, but
no,
I wasn't expecting that to be a plot point. Like, I guess he did disappear, but
I thought it would have been. Here's where I thought the plot could have been a little better, right?
Like he was alive.
Like he was alive. He was injured. He's been there trying to survive.
Because what movie is like that? There's a movie like that, right? No. There's a movie like that where, like, it's like, I thought you were dead. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Jumanji!
Probably Cadet Kelly. No. What is Cadet Kelly? What are you talking about? Or when Jumanji?
When Alan!
No, that's not what I'm talking about. There's a movie where they go searching for someone and they thought they were dead and they ended up being there. Come on.
You're thinking about the new Friday the 13th with Supernatural where he goes try to find his sister.
I'm definitely not, because I don't remember anything about that movie.
Work. I know what you're talking about.
Never mind.
I know what you're talking about. I feel it in my bones too. Like, there is a movie where they're like, we have to go. Let's go explore this thing because my dad is here. And
or they go and explore, and they like, because like a famous explorer, like,
you're thinking of Up,
died through there, but then he was alive. No, it's a live action movie. Someone help me! Someone help me! Tell me what I'm thinking of. Okay, so then dead body, bye. And okay, so the big thing here is that the temperature is rising. And so if it gets to like 135, they're gonna die.
Listen,
so
we live in Arizona. We've hit that temperature and we're fine.
They need to follow Max's plan and leave. And they have about 48 to 72 hours to get to the geyser, which is how they're gonna get shot up out of there and back to the crust. The pizza crust of the earth. Yes, when these temps were rising, it would hit like 110, 150. I was like, okay, and what?
The funniest one was when it was like 102 and they're like sweating. I'm like, bitch,
please. That's a light breezy day for us in the summer.
That's fucking spring. That's a springtime.
Like, we have literally hit 120.
Girl.
And live to tell the tale, so.
And maybe because we weren't outside, and I'm okay with that.
Went to Dairy Queen one day that it hit 120.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
To celebrate. Hey. 120, hey.
Global warming, I do have to say, if my parents don't get this AC fucking fixed before it gets too hot for us to fix your AC, I will fucking burn this house to the goddamn
I forgot that your AC is broken. Because, winter it hasn't been a problem.
because winter is fine. We don't use the heater. We don't fuck with the heater in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, on a second path, on a completely different path of burning my house to the ground, I will completely pay for this AC person. I will drop the, how much is it? $1,000? A little more than that.
I don't know.
I swear to God, if they forget,
Call George. Since we're singing commercial things.
Is that the air? Is that airline? Is that the
Call George Brazil.
Okay, I will. I will call George Zill.
No, don't use him. I don't know. We don't use him.
Give me.
I don't know.
Tell your mom to. Tell your mom to email
guy.
me whoever does your AC.
Okay, so we have a montage of the temps rising as they decide to build a raft and they're gathering all the supplies. And
Very
then they set sail and
I've done this shit before.
Build a raft?
No, the when I went to Utah, the boat didn't have an engine. We had to use the fucking wind power to fucking turn and shit and do all this other stuff. That shit was crazy.
Okay. So how can you say that you've done this before? When you're saying you were on a boat and I'm saying that they were building a raft. How are those the same?
Because it was just like a little raft. It was like a thing. It was like, I don't know what they're called. I forgot the name. But it was like, it had like 2 floaty sides and a net. And then like the dick.
Oh, it was one of those boats?
Yeah. It didn't have an engine. It wasn't like a boat. It was like a ding, like
you're
a
like
flat
windsurfing, but like a little bigger.
On a flat wide fuck. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Anyways, so another storm hits, obviously, because we had a storm outside. We gotta have a storm inside, baby. So this storm hits, and then we are fighting off these fish with these. This was giving Shark Boy and Lava Girl. It was a bunch of little shark boys. This
was Piranha 3D.
And then
this was fucking Piranha 3D.
Dratini or Dragonair or some shit came swooping in.
The Loch Ness Monster and her family showed up.
Yes. All of a sudden, these giant fish. Oh my god, this scene was so funny though, because it was so like, you know, their little parachute wind thing that they're using is flying off. They didn't secure it tight enough, whatever. Sean is grabbing it. Strong. He's grabbing both ends. This was so fucking funny. We have to meme this of him grabbing both ends. And then just woo!
He's just getting taken away. Woo! Make a gift.
Away. Like,
gift the shit out of that.
Jump, bitch.
And that's what I thought, because Brendan Fraser's like, hold on. I literally wrote, I was in the middle of writing, use your Hunger Games strength to hold that back. And then that's when he just got yeeted off the boat. But I'm like, why didn't he just let go? He could have easily let go.
After they had they steered their way away from all those little shark fish. So they were probably clear.
Because they were fine.
Not like it. Wouldn't you rather get bit on your leg than fly away into nothingness? It was so funny.
Well, because at least if you're on the boat, you're on land. You still have food. You still have people. You can still paddle your way. But you're on this you're parasailing. You're parasailing. You ain't got shit to control. The wind's got your ass, mama. She got you by the fucking arm and she's swirling you around.
I wrote that he flew up and he looked like Gonzo. Like, remember Gonzo and the Muppet Muppet balloon?
It's just fucking...
It just flew off. It was gone. Oh, it was so good.
Oh my god. No, that was the... I literally, verbatim, I use that Hunger Games. Oop, never mind.
Maybe if he had painted himself to look like a fucking tree, this wouldn't have happened. Someone had tweeted, I just retweeted it on our Twitter, but someone had tweeted, like, the picture of him as The Rock. Pain as the Rock in the Hunger Games. It said, "Imagine you go to Sephora for prom, but Peter paints you as a rock." Whew. I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
I was feeling so much better, but now all the phlegm and mucus is coming back.
Oh, that is rich. Oh, yeah. Whew. Anyway, so he blew off. He is gone.
Oh,
so he ends up waking up on the land, and he tries to find like a river. He tries to find a river.
I was born by the river. After he drinks salt water, like what an idiot.
Stupid. Didn't boil it.
He didn't.
At least my girls on the wilds knew how to boil their fucking water.
He didn't do that thing where he digs a hole and puts a tarp over so it evaporates, and then the tarp goes into another cup.
He didn't do that thing on Zoom where you have a cup, 2 popsicle sticks, foil, a battery. You can test
tape, a balloon.
You can test which one's contaminated. Like, okay, Zoe on Zoom, but like, why would I have all this?
Listen,
If
okay.
I'm in a situation where I need to test the water, why would I have all this?
The way when I go camping, I will take every fucking piece of random shit. I'll take twine. I'll take a lighter. I'll take matches. I'll put those matches in a Ziploc baggie. I'll take extra. I'm that bitch that's like, guys, I have 3 pieces of gum, some aluminum foil, and this diamond. We can make a flare.
Mm-hmm. It's very Violet Baudelaire.
Yeah, very that.
You pin your hair up and you get to work.
My mullet.
So Trevor and Hannah search for Sean, but while they're searching for him, they run into some carnivorous plants, a la your background on the Google Meets for our patrons watching on YouTube.
Hey Alexa, play Venus Fly by Grimes and Janelle Monáe. I got your asses.
Oh, that's right. You don't have an Alexa.
I don't have her. I don't have
I
that.
was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
No, I specifically worded it differently so mine wouldn't go off.
So that's a little. It's very Little Shop of Horrors, but musical. You know,
scary.
So
and then Brendan Fraser. Nope. And then Brendan Fraser goes sleepless. He just rips those. Off.
He took them off. He did that for people. Oh wait, this part. In this picture, he still has his sleeves.
Yes, but oh my god,
he did tear them off.
He showed up to the gun show.
Mm-hmm. And then Sean finds a magnetic field, and he has to get
magnetics.
Yeah, he has to get past this like floating rock path.
I vividly remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
You
ever done the lily pads at Sunsplash? That's what this is like.
At where?
At Sunsplash? Have you ever gone on those like lily pads that you have to step on with like ropes?
Fuck
it's
no.
Very like about. It's actually I didn't do it, but like I've seen people fall on them and they get hurt.
Yeah,
so
because those.
If you ever want to laugh at people getting hurt, go to the lily pads. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will. Thank you.
But very much that. And then he finds a dinosaur. By the way, his little glow bird has been leading him here this whole time.
His little glow bird that fully gets animated to do like a not this.
It reminds me of the birds. Remember the Disneyland sing-along VHSs?
Yes.
It reminds me of those birds.
Yeah.
So Trevor tells Hannah that he's gonna go look for Sean on his own, and he says like, meet me at the river.
Meet me at the river.
Baby, if you're ready for the ride.
Oh, I want to see what I. Yeah. He makes the ugliest poopy face here too. Because he like Brendan Fraser does this thing with his face where he goes like where he looks super upset, but he's like it. Find it. I want you to find it, and I want you to screen capture it because it's the weirdest face, and it looks so bad.
I don't recall.
He's like mad.
This is when they kiss, and it's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird kiss. It's like it's not even like a peck, like quick. It's like one of those slow but like barely grazing kisses. But I kind of like that. I kind of like that it was like. I kind of like that it was different from like the usual like kiss that would happen in this moment in movies. It was like barely happens so much that I had to replay it and be like, did they even kiss? I'd replay it, saw that they grazed, and he's like, what was that for? But I like that it was like very hesitant.
Like gentle.
She said, I'm 15 and you're 30. I'm kidding. She's an adult. She's an adult. But then Trevor saves Sean by leading the dinosaur to the Muscovite on the ground, just like earlier. Little callback. Rest in peace to the dinosaur. Hannah meets them at the river, but it's like boiling hot. They need some sort of boat. Incoming Hannah using that fucking dinosaur skull as a boat. Honestly, slay. I love that.
Honestly, how is the dinosaur bone not hot?
How is it buoyant?
Yeah. What? Are bones buoyant?
Bones? See, this is bones.
Sweetie, that's a skeleton.
Wait, maybe.
Because they're porous. Like bones are porous.
The only science I was basing this off of just now was like, remember in Poltergeist when bones come out of the pool? That was my science just now, being like, well, yeah, they rise. Anyway.
They rise.
It made sense when I was thinking about it in my head.
Okay, we'll go with that logic.
They end up, taking this river down, and then they get wedged where like the geyser is supposed to be, but there's lava below because they're too late. It got too hot and the water's gone. It has evaporated.
But wait.
We learned that from our water cycle.
Water.
Condensation.
Evaporation.
Accumulation.
Well, oh, good. I like that one. But there is condensation, Sarah, on the walls. Mm-hmm. And then they go, there must be water.
And the walls will ooze green slime. Yeah, it's an old pioneer trick.
You gotta lick the rock.
Yeah. So they realize that there's water behind the wall that they're near. So if they light the magnesium wall with a flare, they could make, a hole, and that water would gush through.
It'd be gushers.
It'd be gushers, fruit snacks, and it would make a geyser for them. So
but Sarah, the magnesium is too wet.
That's okay, baby. I went down and got it for you.
What was that? What was that?
Britney Spears. But I thought the old lady dropped it in the ocean in the end. Well, baby, I went down and got it for you. Oops. He walked off. He didn't like that one. Anyways, yeah, so he has to like.
I have phlegm. I have to spit it out.
They have to do. They use like 3 flares because. Yeah, he keeps saying, you have to get me lower. You have to get me lower.
Pause. I need to blow my nose.
We want to hear it.
Okay, it sounds so fucking disgusting. Ready?
We can't even. We're probably not going to hear it. Yeah, we're like hearing nothing. It's like noise gated.
Oh, work. Good.
It was like barely anything. So yes, I think it's the 3rd try is when they are able to light it, and where Brendan Fraser apparently burned his hand. But it makes the geyser, so it shoots them up and out And to me, I was like, oh, they're back in Iceland. But no. This is a different mountain entirely.
They're at fucking Martha's Vineyard.
This is Mount Vesuvius, and they're in Italy. And like we mentioned earlier, Josh Hutcherson has those diamonds, which is good that he had them because they end up, landing on this poor farmer's house
on his
backyard,
fucking Napa Valley grapes.
Garden. And so he's like, here, take this, like being like, this will pay for it, right?
No, he goes, here, take the diamond as bait.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Just because you put on an accent, he's not gonna understand you.
Mm-hmm. And then Trevor and Hannah kiss, and then we are back in whatever state we were in the beginning. We are back at the lab where Trevor is telling Leonard, his assistant, who we didn't really talk about. I think it's his assistant. It's someone who works in the lab with them.
It's his lab assistant. He likes to make popsicles in the cryo freezer. Love
that. He's like, you don't need to look for jobs because you're going to come
got diamonds.
At Sig's Institute with us since Seth Meyers is taking over this lab, and we are now going to be rich and famous because we just and discovered this incredible thing. And they tell Seth Meyers this, and Seth Meyers is like, what? Because he's like, you're going to read about me in the National Science Journal or whatever. Something
in Science America.
And then Seth Meyers is like,
we'll see about that, babes.
Okay, sure. And then we have Sean leaving for Canada. Mom's still not to be seen. We haven't seen his mom again.
She's fucking gone.
I really thought she was going to show up again, but no. So Hannah and Trevor are there watching him pack up all his stuff. Trevor gives the Atlantis book to Sean because he's like, hey, we should hang out again, uncle and nephew again next time. Here's this for next time. And so it's supposed to be hinting that they're going to go to Atlantis next, right?
Right. Right. They go to Atlantis, right?
That Natalie Portman meme from Star Wars. Because we're going to go to Atlantis, right? Right. Yeah, and then at the very end we see that not Ivy texting us right now. We see that
it's important news.
Sean kept the glow bird the whole time. How did he keep that bird in a backpack?
How did he get that through customs?
How's that breathing? Yeah, because
they had to get
from Italy. He had to get from Italy to there. Also, I didn't understand. Oh wait, never mind. I just answered my own question.
What?
No, never mind. So and then the bird flies away, and that's the end of the movie.
And that's how avian flu began.
And they caused it. So the plot of the second movie is not Atlantis, but
what?
It is about okay, it's dealing with code
what
breaking.
Could it possibly be about?
Da Vinci Code. It says 4 years after his adventure in the center of the Earth, 17-year-old Sean Anderson is arrested by the police for breaking into a satellite control center in hopes of enhancing a coded signal that could have been sent by his long-missing grandfather. Wanting to bond with Sean, his new stepfather Hank, that's the Rock, helps decipher the code, which leads to 3 books: Treasure Island, Gulliver's Travels, and Jules Verne's Mysterious Island. Using the book's individual maps, Hank uses a backlight. Does that mean blacklight? To make them a single island, complete with the coordinates to its location. Hoping to prove to Sean that there is no mysterious island there, Hank agrees to take him to where the coordinates point to. It's about an island.
Just a
wait, no, it is Atlantis. Just kidding, it is Atlantis.
Oh my fucking god.
Sorry, I read it now. It says the next one, blah, blah, blah. Alexander leads the group to the lost city of Atlantis. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Got it. So all of this was for naught.
But wait, at the end of the second movie, the grandfather, which I think is Michael Caine, yes.
Is alive?
Michael Caine. Hey, Josh, I'm just gonna give you, I'm gonna give you these books so that you can have another skill other than just painting yourself to look like a rock. Okay, okay.
Perfect.
Says the grandfather arrives with a book for John's birthday present. Jules learns from the Earth to the Moon. Alexander's suggestion for the next adventure with the family. The film ends with the camera panning to the moon.
No, absolutely not. Also, unbelievable that The Rock is his fucking stepdad. No.
What? You don't think The Rock
Unbelievable.
could pull that mom that we saw for 30 seconds?
No.
Okay. Well, I have some IMDb reviews.
IMDb.
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 Bring them.
This one is 3 out of 10 stars. It's called Awful. Written in May of last year by Leah Fwine underscore Draco. One of the worst things I've seen, but that comes as little surprise as Hollywood was in the doldrums by this point, similar to a Spy Kids sequel. This is a mindless adventure filled with absolutely pitiful CGI effects, which reach a new low standard. Apparently, it was originally offered in 3D, but I can't imagine that saving it. Brendan Fletcher is likable enough.
What?
Mindless, heroic buffoon, just like The Mummy. The rest are very poor and overt sexism, hard to swallow. I just love that they called him Brendan Fletcher. Like, you know his name.
You know who he is.
No,
you know where Queen Nora is from.
You know The Mummy, and you watch this movie and you can't remember his fucking name? Lies.
Disrespect.
This was written in February 2021, 9 out of 10 stars by PM Telephone. Probably the greatest 3D movie ever made.
Wow. Bold,
the first time I saw Journey to the Center of the Earth was in the theater, AMC Westbury, New York, in 3D.
Oh my God.
They gave you his coordinates. I'm a big fan of 3D, and I can honestly say this movie made the best use of that format that I have ever seen. The 3D was great.
Shit.
I've seen this movie a bunch of times since, and it was still a lot of fun. The cast is very good, especially Brendan Fraser.
Wow.
The action is well staged and exciting. The movie looks great, and the music is also good. There are a lot of laughs in this movie. Even in the standard format, Journey to the Center of the Earth is a very entertaining movie. Honorable mention, a dreamy Anita Briam, which is the actress that played Hannah. So it's like, you could have left that off. But
Work.
they said, but also hot girl.
But also, she's
we
hot.
Can't forget hot girl.
Hot girl and lava guy.
So you guys heard it. Eat shit, Avatar, because that's the greatest 3D
I was gonna
film that
fucking
this
say, like,
person
goddamn. Avatar can go fucking rot in a hole at this point.
Bye bye, Avatar. Sorry, James Cameron.
You fucking loser. Wait, when did Avatar come out? 09?
No, didn't it come out in like 2011? Or no, 2012? 2013? Didn't it come out last year?
No, it couldn't have come out in 2013 because I saw it while I was in high school.
And you were in high school in 2013. Not me. I was about to be like, oh my God, it came out in 2022. That's the new one.
Years.
2009.
Yes, I fucking told you. Yes.
I just try to forget everything I can about this movie because I hate it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Did you watch the new one, Juan?
Nope.
I'm sorry. Did you spend 3 hours and 12 minutes of your fucking life watching the new Avatar movie?
Hell no. Absolutely not.
I can't believe James Cameron would do this again and longer.
Ooh. James Cameron needs to quit. Go home.
While you're ahead, sweetie. Some Letterboxd reviews. A lot of people talking about Brendan Fraser being hot. Which is relatable.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if I had a letterbox, I would also write that.
Mm-hmm. Someone said it's a movie with characters,
Work.
which is true. It's not lies.
I mean, it's facts. They're saying facts.
Someone said you can see Brendan Fraser's nipples through his shirt in 3D.
Thank God.
So,
I died.
Someone said this is my Avatar 2009. Oh, your camera did die. Wow. A lot of people like if you look at the average rating on Letterboxd, it's the highest number is a 3-star. Next highest is a 2. So like people know it's not. They're agreeing with you that it's not like great.
It's not like amazing, but it's not like the worst.
Mm-hmm. We've definitely seen worse.
Oh, we sure have.
Oh, we have. Anyways, what are your final thoughts on the film?
My final thoughts on the film are... Let's see if this works.
A new device signed into my Peacock account. That means Frankie's watching Tar.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Hold up. They don't love you like I love you. Step down. I did not see that the 4th Fear Street got announced. Is she telling lies again?
I don't know. Every time we do I do a background, this always happens. Anyways, my thoughts on the movie. I think it's all right. I think for younger kids, it's like perfect. It's fun. I could do without all like the weird little sexism stuff that's in here, like just like the weird like objectifying of this woman blatantly. But I also like that she's like, I will literally see you all dead before I die. She cuts Brendan Fraser's rope. She's like, and he goes, you knew I was...
Yeah, that was girl boss, you know?
She said,
gotta save yourself sometime.
If you don't fix this, we're all gonna die. So she just kills him. But I think, I don't know. I think it's all right. I think it's not like the worst thing ever. Brendan Fraser definitely has way better movies out there. I mean, I'll give it like a 2.5. Like, it's not the greatest, and I was kind of bored watching it, but I'd also seen it before, so like I knew what was happening. And again, I think if you're gonna make a movie that's like adventure and blah 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 blah, like yes, it's for children, but like at least make it interesting, you know? Like give me some exploration. Like I felt like for as long as they were in the center of the earth, I really didn't get much except for like there's piranhas, the Loch Ness Monster is here, and there are magnetic rocks. Oh, and a dinosaur.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But yeah, 2.5.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I think for me, this is my first time watching it, so I definitely had more fun. Like if I watched it again, yeah, I would know
Bored.
everything that's gonna happen. I'd probably be a little more bored. But I thought this was just a fun movie. I love to have fun. And I think if Brendan Fraser wasn't in it, it would have been, like a 2.5, a 2 maybe. Depending on who they get. Like because it's Brendan Fraser and he's so good at these adventure movies, I think it brings it up a 0.5 star for me. So I'm just gonna go with a solid 3. I think it's okay. I think it's a good one to put on for kids if you want them to get interested in science and be like, is this even possible? Is this logical?
I think this is
Could
like
this actually happen?
For like people our age, like if you have like a little like house party or like a little get together with friends, like this is something that you could put on in the background.
You always say that about these movies that we talk about.
Yeah, because they're perfect.
That's
You
our
just throw it on.
niche, is we love to cover background movies for
movies that you can
20s
put on the
parties.
background of your parties. Yeah.
Yes, and we love that. I'll just go solid 3. I wanted to start out with this one for Frasier February, so we had nowhere to go but up. Like we knew George of the Jungle. That's one of his best performances, so like
his
we wanted to save that, so we could look forward to it. But yeah, overall, like I'm glad I watched it. I've always wanted to watch it because I do love Brendan Fraser so much. And yeah, that's thoughts on The Journey. The Journey's shoe store, and the center of the earth.
Journey.
Oh my god! Some of the IMDb reviews were like, "Journey to pissing me off, journey to the center of my damaged brain," like all the
oh my god
puns.
Journey to my colon.
More like my colonoscopy.
Oh my god.
Anyways, let's give a shout out to the one, the only.
Iris is our podcast artist and our beloved friend. You can follow her on Instagram and Twitter at Creamsicle Panda, or if you're financially inclined to do so, and if she's doing stuff on Patreon, you can do that at patreon.com/creamsiclepanda. Oops, Sarah's gone too. But yeah,
I lived.
Oh, they're back.
Did you see me spring up? Ooh.
You were like a zombie returning from the grave.
I'm like some ghost at the haunted
mansion.
You
doing crunches right now?
Woo! No. I just want. My back was starting to hurt, so I laid back, and I completely disappeared. Look it's me, Brendan Fraser.
You became his nipples.
Oh. Anyways, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and even Tumblr at Planet Weird Pod, and other ways to support us. We have a Patreon if you would like to get some little fun tidbits, little
some things,
bonus things. Yeah, we have some things over there on Patreon. Like if you had $5 that you want to donate us each month, well, oh my gosh, that would get you the video versions of these episodes.
Where I disappeared towards the end.
Yes, you could see what we look like when we're talking. You could see this picture of Brendan Fraser that I have behind me in my background. What? And at $10 and $15 a month, you get our bonus episode where each month we talk about 2 episodes of each Disney Channel series. They're going chronologically. And this month, oh my god, we're talking about Even Stevens. What?
Esteban.
If you want to hear us talk about Even Stevens, then you might want to think about signing up for the Patreon, okay? And of course, we'd get our back catalog of bonus episodes of us talking about Jet Jackson, the Jersey So Weird, Bug Juice, Flash Forward,
Yes.
All
but
those
we're gonna hit our stride because the icons, oh mama, the icons have arrived.
Yes, but thank you to our patrons. If you're at $5 or above, you get a shout out, and it goes a little something like this: Grace Worspawn, Shelby Deacon, Emily Palmer, Jared Van Leeuwen, Enrique Buenrostro, Jose Contreras Jr., Lindsay Britt, Natalie Hernandez, Aisa Yusuf, Fiona Hart, and Ivy
Guy in a Hole.
Thank you, everyone, for... Yeah, I'm not going to think of something better. But thank you, everyone, for being a patron. We appreciate it. Merch links in the description. Also, you can rate and review us or share us. Those things are free. Rate and review. Click, 5 stars, done.
Wow.
And just sharing is free. And that really helps. So thank you if you do either or both of those things. Like I said, on Patreon, we're doing Even Stevens episodes. So next Friday, there will be no episode on the main feed, but there will be a Patreon episode where we talk about the pilot of Even Stevens, which will be really fun. That's an iconic Disney Channel show, and a very memorable episode to me.
I had never seen the pilot. I was thoroughly entertained. It was great.
Yeah, I will never forget that pilot. Ernie Morton has lived in my nightmares for years, and we'll talk about that.
Ernie Morton is the person who I avoid with my entire life.
The week after that, we will be back with a main episode about another Brendan Fraser movie for Fraser February. We said it's going to be all about George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle.
Get ready to be so horny. Because he is so hot.
He's so hot. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Ape. We're going to talk about Leslie Mann's character in that movie. We're going to talk about when I first learned about prejudice by watching that movie, and when Ursula's mom says, like, some people have spots and some people have stripes. And I said, whoa. Okay.
And which one of us has a spot?
And what now? And then everything else that we love about that movie. So stay tuned for that. If you have any thoughts on that, obviously the movie is on Disney Plus. So send us your thoughts via Twitter or Instagram or our email, which is linked below.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, toodaloo. Have a good Fraser February, everyone. Hope you kick it off right. Watch some Brendan Fraser movies this month. Not just this. Maybe you go watch Blast from the Past. Maybe you go watch Looney Tunes Back in Action. I don't know. Or go watch another one.
He has one called The Tie, something like that, where he's like a school guy, a schoolboy, something.
School
there we
Ties.
go, that one.
Another one. Yeah, he's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, just go look
him up.
Watch
Now and Then for his cameo. Where he
go watch The Whale and cry. I don't know.
60s guy. Anyways, we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.
Catch you on the flippity flop.